I'm just going to get finished set up here, opening up my chat. When you arrive, let me know where you're from. I know this isn't my usual time to go live. I usually go live on Thursdays, but I will be away on the West Coast. So I thought I would jump on here today and do a live instead of recording the Ascension series and talk specifically to becoming the intentional creator of your experience. So I want to break a couple things down for us today about how to really do that, to become the full intentional creator, the full manifester. We're also going to do an energy card pull as well. So I'm going to give it a couple seconds, wait till some people show up, and then we're going to go from there. It is wild energy right now. July is all about the ascension process. It is about leveling up. We have a lot of opportunity in our favor. Hopefully, you guys are following along on both YouTube at Diamond Know and at TikTok at Diamond.know for the daily energy forecast. Hello, Chris. We're putting daily energy forecasts out there for you. The monthly forecast is up on the website, so you can get all of July's energy. But this is our game-changing month. We've been building and preparing for July for quite some time, and August is going to be about standing on the foundation of what we build here in July. So due to that, I have been working away at how can I be in. Hello, Tanya. I've been working away like for a very long time, for quite a few months now, on our upcoming retreat that's in July. So the upcoming retreat is about anchoring into 5D. So arriving and anchoring really solid in fifth dimensional consciousness, sixth, seventh, eighth dimensional consciousness. Hi, Ash. Hi, Katrina. And so really working on like, how do we get there? How do we get there? Because when you arrive in fifth dimensional consciousness, you've got a whole lot of transition that happens. So the first thing is you embody the 12 universal principles. A lot of people call them the 12 universal laws, but this is the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of oneness, the law of perpetual transmutation. You become the energy, the knowing of these universal principles. And that's what's your big game changer. Layering that with understanding how the Power 369 is working through you and how to use that effectively is going to be what really gets you onto your foundation in August. I'm getting all of the comments right here. So hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you could show up today. Hello, Zoe. Amazing. All right. So I want to just kind of go through a couple of quick stepping stones, and then we're going to go into an energy pull for us specifically about what are our guides asking for us in July to really be looking at. We've got 3 different retrogrades happening that, when combined, are all about that self-reflection, that internal work, that what's going on within me that's creating the external reality for me. So we really want to be focused during July on what is this making me feel? Is it triggering my fear of lack of control? Is it triggering my anxiety? Is it triggering depression? Is it triggering lack of love or safety in love? Hello, everybody. You were in my dream last night. I wish you could remember it too. I love when I get that. I get that quite a bit, actually. I show up in people's dreams and in their meditations, and I'm like, oh. But we do have a lot of big changes coming, and I do think about quite a bit of you, actually. So I'm sure you're getting a little bit of my love. All right. So back to July's energy. The whole month is going to be leveling up, making that solid foundation, leveling up, making that solid foundation, leveling up all month long. It's game-changing energy if you're using it right. So that's what I thought we would talk to you today: how to use it right and what what we're doing wrong in order to really capitalize on this energy. So with this upcoming retreat, I'm going to be breaking down how to embody each one of the 12 principles, which is going to be key in everything. So you can start to study those online. There's a lot of information out there. People talk about there's 9, there's 7 of them, there's 12 of them. And I've just defined it down to the 12 that I know actually transform my students. So I've been teaching this for a really long time. I've obviously embodied those and used them for myself. So I've sort of narrowed it down to this is how to get there. So that's one of the first steps, is really understanding how to become the universal principles. It's something that happens through a meditative state, but understanding what they mean. And this is the biggest mistake that we're making with that. You're seeing people talk about the law of attraction. So mistake number 1, there's 12 fucking principles. There is not just the law of attraction. And I see people focus so much on visualize it, Make your vision board, daydream about it, and that is not going to let you arrive. You're going to get a lot of mixed and matched energy with that one. So if you're only focusing on manifesting, you are not going to arrive in fifth dimensional consciousness or beyond, and you're actually just going to be receiving a whole lot of lack with that. And this is why. What we vibrate, so we are energetic beings. Our energy is made up of multiple frequencies. Those frequencies come from the inside depths of our belief structure. Those frequencies have a vibration. They are either vibrating high in your favor or low, which is stagnant, pushing energy away almost. And when we're using just the law of attraction, what I see happen so often is we get so fixated on the one thing we want. And this is problem two. We get fixated and we don't allow it. And when we fixate on something, we push it away, to be honest, because when we are acknowledging that we don't have it yet, that's going to be the predominant vibration. So I see this all the time, more specifically with love and money. And this is what I'm super stoked to help people restructure in our retreat next week. Don't push it away. If you're focused on what you don't have and you're acknowledging what you don't have, you are not in the vibration of trust. And that is the third mistake we make. We do not become the vibration of trust. We have to absolutely trust and allow what we know to be for us. So the fourth piece of this is your mind cannot conceive the impossible. We really need to acknowledge this. Your mind cannot conceive the impossible, which means if you can ache for it, if you can visualize it, if you can conceive it within your mind, you will receive it if you get out of your own way. The fifth thing I see with this is people striving and trying to have this happen. So frantically looking for love, going on dates that maybe have red flags, and they're like, well, I don't know. The divine purpose, I see this all the time in divine purpose, where people are trying so hard to find their ticket, their way to be seen, to be acknowledged, and they're forcing their social media. So they're getting all this growth, but they're not actually getting the interaction, and they're not getting people reaching out to them for their services, because the energy in that is try, strive. So it kind of moves across the board with prosperity, love, and divine purpose, where we actually start to push those things away. When we are in trying, striving, we are actually the vibration of let me work harder for it. So what are you going to receive? Let me work harder for it. So I really want you to slow dial that back and start to look at, from today forward, what is my energy? What is the majority of my thought today? What is the majority of my focus today? The other default that I'll see is people going into fake positivity or toxic positivity, acting like the problem is not a problem, and being like, so let's say you really want love, or you have the ache that I had so many years ago to step into divine purpose. So you're aching for this outcome. And we put all of our energy into the desire of receiving it, and we're focusing on it and we're looking at it, but the predominant vibration is the ache, and we're focusing on that ache, and then we're looking about our day going, where is it? I don't know what it is. How do I arrive to it? And we start trying to structure a plan outside of where your soul energy, your consciousness wants to direct you. So we really want to dial it back and look at, what am I feeling, and not ignore the negative feeling. So as we're looking for that love of our life, and we've got these things popping up in us being like, oh, there's no good fish in the sea, or all the good ones are taken, or this town doesn't have any people, or this city doesn't have the people that I'm looking for. And we start to go into this falsified story, this negative low vibe story. What's actually happening is, or let me put it like this too, you go on a series of dates where it's just bullshit and red flags, and you're like, I don't even know what to do, I give up. Or you go on a dating app and you're like, next, 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 and you're not finding that quality that you're looking for. So what's happening with that is there's a belief within you that says it's hard, or that you're not going to receive it, or that it's challenging, or I'm not worthy of that type of love. So we don't want to ignore what's surfacing in our feelings. And this is what I really want you to focus on. Get your journal out and be like, what am I actually feeling? I'm feeling frustrated. What's under that frustration? I'm feeling the belief that they're not out there. Why is that your belief? And we want to go in and we want to figure out how we're going to heal that. One of the 12 principles is the um, principle of perpetual transmutation, meaning everything will change in your favor when you allow it to. That doesn't mean surrender. Surrender is like, I trust the universe. I'm just going to put it out there. I trust the universe. And that's putting your power outside of yourself. There's still some action involved in that, but it's inspired action, which is one of the other 12 principles, is the principle of divine inspired action. So we want to dial it back and ask ourselves, what is my vibration? What is the vibration that wants to be healed or transmuted or accelerated or ascended so that I can align with the desired outcome of my reality? And this is just where I see people like messing it up all over the place. So I want to really bring those points forward. Um, the other phase from that is like, once you understand the 12 principles and you stop, you really got to understand your energy. So what are you pushing out? What are you, where are you striving? Where are you actually signaling to universal flow that you don't have it and that you won't have it? I want you to dial that back. That's what you're going to do starting today in your journal. For those of you that are joining us in the retreat, bring your journal and those fears with you, because I'm going to help you transmute them so fast. Day one in the retreat, it's going to be amazing. You're just going to be like, holy shit. And we're going to rewrite all of them. I'll show you how simple it can be. So what about surrendering to yourself? I'm not sure. I think it's individual how we're going to approach this. So I'll show you how I do it. Instead of surrendering to something, I instead embody trust, which might be the same difference depending on your definition of surrender or your actions associated with surrender. But I will move into trusting that if I desire this, that it is actually a requirement for my ascension process. So for me to have a full ascension and to arrive into the highest possible timeline, that looks like me fully thriving and me fully flourishing, which means the vibration of prosperity is moving through me with ease. Love is moving through me with ease. Um, High vibrational conversation, creative conversation, like all the things that make me thrive. And I become that energy and then I trust that energy. So it's more for me about aligning with trust, which is what I teach my students. I don't really use the word surrender. I think that that's like giving up your power to something else in my lens. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, perfect. Okay. So the next phase after what I want you to do with your journaling, and make sure that you bring those beliefs, those fears with you to the retreat, okay? Because we're going to restructure them. The next part of this equation is how to use the power of 369. It's a little bit complicated when I teach it all out, but I found a way to simplify it to show you how rapidly you can create change, understanding how that moves. So what I'll give you and offer you for now is whatever you perceive was is what you will receive next. So in moment to moment to moment, how present can you become in what was my perception about what was? So past relationships, you're going to be pulling in something similar or just a fraction better instead of being able to pull in the best possible relationship. Your perception of prosperity, what has been your relationship with prosperity? Does it leave you as fast as it comes in? Does it not arrive and show up? When you restructure that, then you will have full freedom with that through the power of 369. So it's really about looking at what has been my story, my lens, my perception, so you can shift that to use the power of 9 to pull it back through to you. So again, it's a little bit complicated to explain just in this little live here, but we'll be breaking that all out on next Wednesday. We've talked about stop searching. Don't do it anymore. You have a beautiful, beautiful path in front of you. You have an internal GPS system. That is your consciousness. Your consciousness knows what's next for you. And if you learn to listen to that, listen to your knowing, your truth, and recognize your reflection in the world so you can course correct, this beautiful path has your highest possible timeline. I know this is going to sound a little bit fluffy, but literally everything you came here for is right in front of you. It is a golden brick road. Absolutely. It's there. Where we where we kind of fall off track is we start going off that path searching for the thing. We're like, okay, I really want this. I'm going to go over here and go hunting for it. Or I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go look for it over here. Instead of just allowing that GPS to lead the way, it is in front of you. It's when we don't trust that process and when we have those beliefs that are holding us back that we slow down the process. You came here to arrive in your highest possible timeline. You came here to arrive in 5, 6, seventh dimensional consciousness. You came here for that. When you arrive in 5 and you anchor there, everything opens up with absolute ease and euphoria. It is phenomenal. That's all you have to do is just figure out how to arrive there. Everything else will then be like a conveyor belt coming down the pipeline for you instead of you having to go and search for it. So we're here to experience the challenge of being human and the evolution into really truly thriving within our human experience. And so we want to start to look at how do I begin to thrive day to day with the other tips that we've already talked about. So that's it in a nutshell for you guys. What questions do we have before we go into? Hi, Jacqueline. All right, I'm going to open it up to questions for a few minutes. And we're also going to do an energy read on what is July really asking. So, what are our guides? What's our highest self really asking for us for July? So, we'll start that process and then I'll check in with the comments to answer some questions. So, let's go to the deck. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. It is so hot and muggy in Ontario today. My hair is just like, I can feel it. It's gross. How's the weather in Ireland? I'm very curious. Wet and horrible evening in Ireland. Oh, the humidity isn't much better over here. Well, hello, love. Currently at work, so I'm popping in and out. Perfect. Okay. 1, 2, or 3. What do we got? We've got a 2 coming up. Your hair looks good. Oh, thanks, babes. Appreciate. Just feels like it's a little nesty today. 1 and 3. Amazing. Okay. I'm going to start with number 1 and then we're going to move through. So I'm just going to connect in. So the way this works for me is I connect into my highest energy, my highest ascended energy that's here for my highest evolution. And then I connect into ours as a collective. So time does not exist. It doesn't matter when you find this, there's still going to be something for you. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. And you might be a little bit of a blend of all of the above. So let's just have a look and we'll start with number 1. Okay. So you guys are game changers. Number 1, it's about, there is some, urgency in what you need to be putting your focus on right now. So we really want to course correct our focus, number 1s. There is an opportunity, and I'm hearing by like 19th to 21st of July, there's going to be a little opportunity for you to level up drastically with the energy that's available. You can expect things to completely shift and move out of that self-defeat that you've been experiencing. And maybe it's been hidden a little bit, but all of those little I can't, I won't, I'm not enough statements, this is your opportunity to really transition those. You do have a very big gateway opening for you leading into in and around the 19th, 21. So right now it's about really carefully paying attention to um, how you're navigating and the story and the conversations you're involved in. Everything is energy. So are you listening to low vibe music that's all about depression? Are you just change the lyrics in your head, make them better? Are you listening to, are you having like low vibe gossipy conversation? Are you inundated with gossipy conversation? It's about setting boundaries so that you're not absorbing that. I'm also hearing that your transition from being an empath to the default, where we just like get drained, that's about to shift for you as well. So there's big opportunity available for you, but this card is literally about, so it's like a giddy up and go, and it's like a sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. This is the time to really process your thoughts. So it's like this giddy up and go, and we're about to go, and there's a lot of incredible energy available for you, but it's working on how you're navigating through specific thought and what you are absorbing around you. So how is the energy around you really drastically impacting you? And what thoughts are you putting towards that? It's time to make some cuts. It's time to make some change. It's time to set some boundaries. And it's really important that you self evaluate leading into this. Like it is an energy opening for number ones, 19 to 21. So right now, you've got 10 days to get it together. So these are the 10 days where you're really going to self discipline and work on mind power. Um, the retreat starts actually on the 17th. So if you can be aware of your fears, we are going to be addressing specific fears on the 17th. So you'll be able to open up into this gateway really beautifully and make this transition. So start to journal, start to get aware, start to pay attention, start to really acknowledge like what music specifically. I'm hearing that one as well. Like, what are you listening to? What are you absorbing? What words are you singing along with? Because that's going to be a vibration for you. So get it together, my darlings. Time to tighten up the reins. Okay, let's go into number twos. Okay. Now, first of all, number twos, there's a little bit of a pause coming for you. Really important that we go into this pause, that we're not going into defeat, self defeat, that we're not going into June. The whole month of June was a pause for me. One of the 12 principles is the principle of rhythm, meaning there's a little pause before we anchor up. You guys heard me talk about this so much. So, this little pause that you may be enduring or you're about to come to is a time for you to really sit back and integrate all of the knowing that's in you. So, your wisdom. If you're wasting this timeline right now, and I'm hearing it's like this week and next week for you, if you're wasting this timeline, it's like you have an opportunity to change your foundation from sand to concrete, is what I'm hearing. So, those of us that have been built on sand, we're going to feel a little bit teetery. We're going to feel like, oh my gosh, it could be that your concrete just isn't solid yet and it just needs to harden. And that's what that pause might feel like. But you have the opportunity moving into the rest of July. So towards the end, as well as August, to really build something amazing for yourself. So this could be building relationships. It could be building a routine. It could be building more vitality in the body. It could be building your prosperity. It could be building divine purpose. But there is this massive opportunity coming for you the very end of July, moving into August, but your foundation right now feels a little sinky, is what I'm hearing. So, with that, I feel what I'm hearing very strongly is you're working on your bringing forward more of your authentic self, but it's the emotional body. So, number one's had it all about the mental power. Number two's, this is all about the emotional body. This is about nurturing right now. So, if we have all these delays or pauses or stagnation in our life, this is an opportunity for you to go in and truly nourish. It's like the calm before the storm. You know that saying? We want to nourish the body, we want to nurture the body. So, this is going to be really important for you to be taking that time to find your form of meditation, whether that's walking, art, dancing, or formal meditation. It's important for you to self reflect. It's important for you to process in your journals what emotions want to be healed, what avenues of myself or timelines of myself want to be healed. That's something else we're going to be doing in the retreat, is moving into parallel timelines and teaching you how to do that, to heal that energy, to lift your vibration across the board. So this is what's opening up for you when you have opportunity to truly level up. If we can get in touch with the depths of the emotional body and into the deep, beautiful healing that wants to happen. So, how do you nourish yourself? How do you nurture yourself? Is it cuddling up, reading a good book, watching a good movie, hot baths, walking, grounding in nature, spending time with loved ones, playing with your pets? All of those, we want to do that. Amazing, Vanessa. That's so good. I love that for you. Any recommended music to listen to for number ones? I really love ambient chill step. You just want to pay attention to the lyric, right? So you want something that just feels good. Like, I'm a big Swiftie, and the Tortured Poets department is so low vibe that I cannot right now. I love it. It's heartbreak. I'm not doing it. So instead, I'm using like 8D audio. I'm using Ambient chill step, I love that tremendously. It really lifts me up. So whatever makes you feel really good and empowered, not angry, not mad, not projecting, not sad. We want to avoid that. Okay. Okay, back to number twos. The other thing about unveiling your authenticity is I want you to take a little bit of a playful approach. So we're nurturing and then we're moving into play. So, what is play for you? I want you to write your definition of that because it's certainly not sitting on the floor with Lego. That's not play. What's play for you? For me, it's gardening, it's playing with my dog or my cats. So, I want you to get into that play energy. That's going to help you lift your vibration, but really look at how do I make that foundation of self care, nurturing my primary focus right now so that I can solidify this foundation in order to build on top of it. So you've got a little bit of time with that one, but don't take it for granted right now. It's a beautiful opportunity. All right, let's go into number threes. Love this because I just noticed, I won't say any names here, but get this, you know who I'm talking to right here. Time to move in a new direction, darling. I love that confirmation for you. So we do have for number threes, let's look and let's look at the facts. So let's get emotion out of the way. Let's get heartache out of the way. Let's look at the facts. How are you being treated? Are you contemplating moving on from something? You need to really look at the facts of what are the red flags with the situation? What is the possible outcome moving to the next thing? And it's facts, mind out of the equation. I feel like your ego self and your emotional desires are trumping your truth a little bit. So we want to write down all the facts of the direction we're going in. It is new direction for number threes. It is big, bold, courage, new direction. And once we get really aware of what the facts are in the situation, we can make a more favorable assessment of that and really look at, okay, I'm ready to make this decision. I want you to start using the mantra, I am willing to allow clarity to move through me. I am willing to allow courage to move through me. I am willing to be brave because the energy after you've gotten really clear on what the facts are, it's time to make a decision for you. I'm hearing that decision is moving into August. So the decision to, so let's say that you're in a toxic relationship. I'm not saying walk away from the toxic person. Within yourself, make the decision. I'm willing to leave this relationship now. It's too many red flags, or I'm willing to go to therapy and work with this person, or I'm willing to whatever. But make a decision instead of mulling it over in your head over and over and over again. We have the habit of doing that, where we get so like, "Whoa," and we overthink it and overthink it and overtalk it and overtalk it. So instead, what are my facts? What am I willing to do? Make a plan. That's time. Like it's really like these are your steps. Facts. What am I willing to do? Make your plan, whether that's an exit strategy. It doesn't mean you have to do it right now, but it's time to make a plan towards that. Also, for those who's feeling divine purpose ache like a mother right now, like I can feel some of you really feeling that ache, like that, like, okay, what is this? How do I step in? I'm feeling it actually in my heart. My heart's like pounding right now. Beautiful. So, divine purpose takes a lot of courage. It does. It takes a tremendous amount of courage because you have to become so vulnerable with yourself. You have to put yourself into the world in your most authentic energy, not the you've got the heartache constantly. I knew you did, Zoe. I feel you so much. Um, it's time. Like there's so much transition coming for the rest of 2024 and the beginning of 2024. It's why I've been on here, like pushing this information as much as I can. And this is why I'm pushing this retreat in July. This is the end of building in order to launch. We will be standing. So many of my students are standing right now in it. They're like, I got it. Here's my purpose. This is what I'm doing. When we arrive in divine purpose, you receive everything, by the way. You receive the love of your life. You receive like the perfect match for you. Nothing's perfect, but perfect for you. You receive the upgrades in everything because for you to stay in divine purpose, it's a commitment. It is a commitment to be of service to others. And everything levels up, the people in your life, the harmony in your life, the prosperity, the serenity, the euphoria. Like it's the best feeling. And it's like just a train that needs to get some momentum going. And as it picks up speed, it's unstoppable. But it's making the choice to figure out how are you going to use your courage to really showcase the most vulnerable version of you. And that's where I see people who ache for that purpose not finding clarity in what it is because they haven't come to, this is my most authentic self and this is who I'm going to bring to the world. That doesn't mean you're bringing all of yourself to the world. I certainly would not do that. But the true authentic desire of, this is the messy way I walked this path. I think I've got it cleared. I know how to get to here. I can bring you to this point. That's what divine purpose is. And number three is you are being shoved into it. So it's time to really look at, what am I willing to unravel? What changes? Because there is change with divine purpose. People call it sacrifice, but I think it's like replacing something that's not serving you with something that is serving you. Um, I like, for myself, it's been a very gradual process of really honoring my choice to be of service and doing the uncomfortable things like being online and creating all of this stuff and hiring a full team that's going to support me with my content so that I can start to be more present on TikTok. Those were all very uncomfortable things in my growth, but I had to trust those things. Really being the quirky, dorky weirdo I am. Sometimes I'm spicy, sometimes I'm super nurturing. I actually had a client the other day who's doing divine alignment with me. We're working one-on-one together, and she was like, I was so nervous meeting you because you're so spicy. I thought you were just going to hand me my ass, but you are the most nurturing person. And I was like, I have the biggest, sweetest heart. Like, I am actually really nice. I'm just spicy here. So it's like finding your organic, authentic truth in why. Why do you want to be in divine purpose? Because if you're doing it to be a service to humanity, it'll be unstoppable. If you're doing it because you desire to be important, you will not arrive. And so you got to get really clear on those things in order. Shoved is right, right? Oh, I love that. Ironically, I sent some of you a message today, an email today, just like an hour ago. So, yeah, so there's that in this moment. And I don't know why. And I'm probably like, because my heart's too big, but I did open up a couple of spots for Book of Life, and I think that they're all. I just emailed a couple of people, so I'm waiting to hear back from them. But I really feel like I have a tiny bit of space before the book launch happens. So there's a few of you that I would love. You know who you are. I would love to work one on one with you, but something that feels right, but your intuition's going to have to know that. So I'm going to look at my schedule and try and open up maybe 2 divine alignment spaces. It's a 4-week program with me to just restructure everything really fast. And we can conquer anything you want, whether that's love, prosperity, divine purpose, or all of the above, depending on how much work you want to put in. It's up to you how much work you invest into yourself with this. So I think I'm going to try and open up a couple spots for that because I'm really feeling some of you. But for everybody else, I would love to see you in the retreat. Like, it's so good. It's the last one, I think, that I'll be available to do before the book launch happens in September. And then the wedding's in October. And then the honeymoon's in November. And then we always take December off. So I'm pretty sure it's the last one I'm going to do. So you can go to diamondno.com and it's anchoring in 5D. You'll see the tab right at the bottom if you want more information on that. And if you feel really pulled to really, truly invest time into yourself, then reach out. I'll try and open up 2 spots. But what I want you to do, you guys know what it is. I want you to go look in the mirror. And I really, truly ache for you to go find at least 5 fucking reasons to say thank you. I love you. And start to use that throughout your day. And I will be away till next week, but I've got the team on emails for me. So they're all there for you. And I'll see you at the retreat. And I'll see you back live next Thursday, the Ascension series on Tuesday on YouTube, and then the energy forecast on both TikTok at diamond.no and on YouTube. So you guys are already here on YouTube. So we'll see you then. Have the best week. Mwah, mad love. And I'll